What's up guys, this is AppleTech752 and in this video I'm going to show you how to completely unlock iCloud from your iPad mini first generation. This is not a bypass, this is a full unlock, which means after the process you will be able to update the device, restore the device, use your own account, and Find My iPhone will be completely turned off, so it literally will be your brand new iPad with no trace of the old activation lock whatsoever. This method is absolutely awesome, and I'm going to show you everything you need to do step by step in this video tutorial. Let's get started. This process does require two hardware components. The first is an Arduino Uno and USB host shield setup. If you want to know how to make one of these devices, then click that link right on top of the screen right now. That video goes over everything you need to know about where to buy these parts, how to load the software onto them, and how to use them to pawn your A5 devices with Checkmate. Once you have your Arduino setup all ready to go, the next thing you're going to need is a DCSD cable, specifically one that looks like this, where it has three lights on it that say pass, fail, and busy, and it literally says DCSD on the cable. This type of DCSD cable is called an Alex DCSD cable, and you cannot use one like this. This Magico style cable will not work with this method. In fact, these things are literally just a piece of junk. They don't work with any method. So you're gonna need the real Alex DCSD cable, the one with the three lights on it. You can go ahead and buy these on eBay or AliExpress, wherever. There's no real difference between a clone or a fake. So as long as you have this style, then you should be all set. Now that I've gone over what hardware you need for this method, let's dive straight into the software side of it. You're going to need a MacBook with macOS High Sierra or Mojave. If you have a newer version like Catalina or Big Sur, then it's super simple to downgrade or install a second partition of macOS. You can just Google search that and you'll find plenty of resources. As you can see, I'm currently running macOS High Sierra. So all I'm going to do is open up my web browser and go to appletech752.com and click on the downloads page. And right here, scroll down until you find Purple Sliver for macOS and then click the download button. And you will get a DMG file in your downloads folder. Go ahead and drag that DMG out onto the desktop and double click it to open. This application is very small, so it's going to be super simple and easy to install. We're going to go to File, New Finder window, and then click on Applications, and then we're going to drag and drop Purple Sliver into our Applications folder. You probably won't get a replace pop-up, but if you do, you can click Replace, and then it's just going to copy it over real fast. Now we're going to open up a terminal window. Inside the terminal window, type in sudo chmod-R755. Then go back to your applications folder, start typing in Purple Sliver on your keyboard. Then you can right click it and say show package contents. Inside of here, find contents and resources, and then drag and drop that resources folder right into the terminal and click enter. It's going to ask for your Mac login password. Go ahead and type that in. And there, now we're all set, and we can use the very original pre-release version of Purple Sliver, the new purple mode bypass tool. So we're gonna go ahead over to our Launchpad, scroll over until we find Purple Sliver, and just like this, we are now inside of the latest version of the AppleTech752 Purple tool. We're gonna click on iPad mini 1, and here we are. As you can see, it says tested and reliable. This is the method we're going to be using today. The first step we're going to do is to actually put our device into pawn DFU mode. As you can see, I already have it connected to the computer right now. It's charging, so I'm just going to hold the power and the home button together at the exact same time. And then as soon as that screen turns black, wait about 2 seconds, then let go of the power button and continue holding the home button. And in just a moment here, we should get a nice iTunes pop-up telling us we're in recovery mode. So we can go ahead and close that. And next, we're going to use our Arduino. For this, you want the CP ID defined to 8942. And I go over all that in my Arduino setup tutorial, so you should know what that means at this point. We're going to go ahead and plug our device into the Arduino, just like this. And now we're going to use our Arduino cable right here to plug the Arduino board into the computer. So I'm plugging that part in there, and this black part I'm going to plug into my computer. All right, and as you can see, that red light is flashing right now. It flashed 3 times, and we're waiting for that solid red LED. And as soon as it turns solid, then we'll know the exploit was successful. So we can go ahead and pull out the USB cable first, then pull out this other cable, and then we can set our Arduino equipment aside and move on to the next step. The next thing I'm going to do is connect my iPad mini 1 back to the computer. And as soon as you connect it back to your Mac, you should get a pop-up like this in iTunes. Go ahead and close iTunes, and we're going to click on Load IBSS in the AppleTech 752 purple tool. And you should get an iTunes pop-up just like this. We can close it, and as you can see, it says IBSS sent successfully. That's perfect. Let's move on to iBEC. We'll click this button, and we should get another pop-up here that's going to prompt us to disconnect our device, which is actually very important. So we're going to disconnect, wait about 5 seconds, and then we're going to plug it right back into our device. And as you can see, the screen kind of starts to glow now. It turned like sort of a purple glow tint. That's perfect. Now we get another iTunes pop-up, so let's click on Cancel, quit iTunes, and click on Go Purple. And at this point, the screen is going to turn black. And after the screen turns black, it's going to be about 5 seconds, and then your device is going to boot straight into purple mode. As you can see, purple sliver says purple mode is activated, and there we are, purple mode right on the screen. We are ready to continue with the next step. At this point, we are all done with the purple tool, so we can exit purple sliver and go back to our web browser, and we're going to need to download this specific tool. It's from magiccfg.com. Just click on download version 1.1 global. It's totally free, and you should get a link to a mega page just like this. You can go ahead and click on download right here. And if you get a prompt like this asking you to keep or discard the file, obviously we're going to keep it. And then it should pop up in your downloads folder right there. So we can now minimize our web browser and drag and drop it out onto the desktop and double click it to open. Now we can skip this, skip, and we should get a pop-up like this. And there's a shortcut for our application, so all we got to do is drag and drop Magic CFG into our applications folder, and it should take just a few seconds to copy over. Now we can close this window, go to our Launchpad, and find Magic CFG. If you get a prompt like this, click on Open, and click on Continue. And you're going to get a pop-up like this, so go ahead and wait 5 seconds, and then it's going to say Continue right here. Click on Continue. And now is the time for us to use our DSD cable. As you can see, I have mine right here, and the first thing we're going to do is connect the USB side into the computer. Don't worry about the lightning side, just connect the USB side. We can disconnect the iPad now because that will make it much more convenient to use that same USB port. Now I just plugged it in, and as you can see, it is now lighting up with a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. If yours looks like that, it's absolutely perfect. That's exactly what you need. So we're gonna go ahead and pull out this old lightning cable. I apologize for the low visibility right now because the purple mode is sort of fogging up the camera, I guess you could say. But I'm gonna go ahead and connect the DCSD cable right here to the iPad. And it has to be face up. So notice how the side with the lights is the side that I'm plugging in face up. And here we are. We're now connected with our DCSD cable. So all we gotta do is click this little refresh button in the Magic CFG application. And then we're gonna select the USB serial right here. And then click on connect. And the next button we need to click is read sys CFG. And as you can see, we have all the information about our device right here and ready to go. So this is probably the most challenging part of the entire video. We have to now copy this serial number, so Command copy, then go back to our web browser, go back over to my website, and scroll down until you find the free IMEI checker, and then just click on Check Now. And you'll be redirected to a page like this with a text field, so you can go ahead and paste it in, click on Search, and complete all the CAPTCHAs if they want you to. And it's gonna say checking. And in just a moment here, we're gonna get a pop-up, and as you can see, Find My iPad is on. Now the tricky part is we have to basically find another serial number for a device that is of the same device and has Find My iPhone turned off. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and copy this same serial number, Command copy, go back, click check more, and then paste it back in again. And we're just gonna start by changing some small things. Like as you can see, there's a 9 here. Let's try changing that to a 7. I don't know, just playing around. We'll select the CAPTCHA things again, and then it's gonna say checking. And chances are it's gonna tell you check failed, it's an invalid Apple serial. So you're just gonna have to keep playing around, trying different numbers and different letters and see what you can do. So 7 didn't work, I'll change that back to a 9. And this is one I actually already figured out for the purpose of this video. If you change the G to a B, that personally worked for me. So I'm gonna select all the CAPTCHA things, verify, and in just a moment here, as you can see, this serial number now says Find My iPad off. So assuming you just play around with this for like 10 to 15 minutes and try a bunch of different numbers and letters, just only change one value at a time, and then if it doesn't work, put it back to the way it used to be and try something else, then you should be able to get a perfect serial number with Find My iPad off. So we're gonna now copy this new serial number by doing Command copy. Then we're gonna minimize our web browser, go back into Magic CFG, and then we're gonna paste the new serial number right here. And now let's click on write, and I'll click on write again just to make sure it copied successfully. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and click on disconnect, refresh, select the port again, click connect and read. And this is just to make sure that the process was successful. And as you can see, we just read in the info and it successfully changed our serial number. So that is basically it, guys. We are now fully unlocked, and the very last step is to perform a quick flash with 3 utools, not retaining user data. We're just gonna restore the device clean, and that will bring us straight to unlocked iOS. All right, guys, I'm back on my Windows PC, and it's actually very important that you use 3 utools for the restore. If you try to restore in iTunes, chances are you're gonna get an error 9 or an error 10. You can definitely try, but I find 3 utools is a lot easier. So we're gonna go ahead and pop it open right now. As you can see, I do have my DCSD cable unplugged, and now the regular lightning cable is connecting my iPad to the PC. And 3utools obviously isn't gonna find anything in this state with the purple screen. So we gotta enter DFU mode so that 3utools will actually detect our device. So I'm holding the home and the power. Then when the screen turns black, wait 2 seconds, let go of the power, keep holding the home button. And as you can see, iDevice connected in DFU mode. So we're gonna click on Go Flash and then select 9.3.5, download it if you haven't already, and then click on Flash and Flash. And this process will probably take about 10 to 15 minutes. It's just gonna restore your device clean, and you shouldn't get any kind of errors. I'll be back when it's finished. All right, the restore just completed, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect my cable, and I'm gonna zoom in on this iPad and show you that we're gonna boot up to the setup assistant with no iCloud lock. All right, here we are on the setup assistant. I'm gonna go ahead and set up this device and show you that we have no iCloud lock. I'm gonna go ahead and connect to my Wi-Fi network right here. All right, I just connected to my Wi-Fi network, and we're gonna get the activation page here in just a second. Let's wait for this to complete, and you guys will see the incredible result. Here we are, location services. We are fully unlocked. Here we are, welcome to iPad, get started. And we are now right on the home screen, and you can now do anything you want with your device. You can update it, you can restore it, you can sign into iCloud, of course, use FaceTime, iMessage, literally everything because it's fully unlocked. There is no more iCloud activation lock on your device. So that's about as good as it gets right here on Apple Tech 752. Hope you enjoyed this awesome video. Stay tuned for more Purple Mode iCloud bypass content. I'm working on adding more devices to Purple Sliver, and I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure you're subscribed, and of course also follow me on Instagram at Apple Tech 752. I'm not using Twitter anymore because they've suspended me too many times, so Instagram is now my main platform. That wraps it up. Stay tuned for more, and peace out.